daylight savings time and you don't know what time it is, it's always important to make sure you have your clocks changed ahead of time if you're using an old-fashioned alarm clock or just a regular clock. The hands, I know nowadays most people use their phones and their phones change automatically when it comes to daylight savings time. But it's always important to be aware of what time it is on a clock, so then you know that it's daylight savings time. And it's good to be aware of when daylight savings time happens, just so you're not late for anything, especially if it's work. Or else your boss will call you, or your house, just in case. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post Tuesday through Sunday, and today I have a Humphrey and story time. As you guys can see, I have Humphrey right here. I actually have him right here right now because I was trying to do a Zoom meeting, but he was whining the entire time, so I'm trying to give him some attention. And so I'm doing a Humphrey and story time. And today's Humphrey and story time is going to be a super weird time. My brother's boss at the time called my house because to let him know it was daylight savings time and he was late for work. And this is a story about how my boss, for some weird reason, ended up calling my house phone. My brother's boss ended up calling our house phone because I think he was trying to get a hold of my brother to let him know it was daylight savings time and he was already late for work. And for some weird reason, he ended up calling our house, which was weird. So this is a story just to teach you guys, if someone calls if your boss or your sibling's boss at their job calls your house phone, just to let them know to notify your sibling you're late for work. It's kind of weird, but also it's a little bit helpful just in case they have been trying to get a hold of them and they can't get a hold of them, so they have to get another number to get a hold of them. And it's good to also like pass that on, but don't rub it in their face or anything. It's just a good way to let them know nicely that they're late for work and it's daylight savings time, because it is confusing with daylight savings time, because sometimes with daylight savings time it can be kind of confusing, and I apologize, my nose is a little bit runny right now. So, it's just good to be aware of when the time changes in daylight savings time. So I'm going to get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So I'm pretty sure this all started maybe about 15 years ago. I think it was 15 years ago. I know I was still in high school when this happened. And my brother was still working at that job at the time. And my brother at the time worked for a yogurt place. I'm not going to say the name of it just for safety purposes, just because it is a local place. And he used to work at this yogurt shop in our city. And one morning, it's like, I think around spring break or something, so I was home that day, or was it a weekend? I don't remember what it was. I get a phone call in my house, and it's my brother's boss, and he goes,
"Hello, is your brother there?"
So back at the time, I had a house phone, and he had our house phone number, and I didn't use my cell phone that much at the time, and I said, "No, he's not. He just left for work." And I'm like, "Is everything okay?" And then my brother's boss tells me over the phone,
"Does he know it's daylight savings time?"
And I'm like, "I don't know. Why?" Why? And he goes,
"Well, could you please let him know he's late for work?"
I apologize if you guys heard me sniffling. It's this weather. Anyway, so I get off the phone and I call my mom because she was driving my brother to work. And I asked my mom, "Hey mom, do you know it's daylight savings time today?" And she goes, "Yeah, why?" And I said, and I tell her that my brother's boss had just called the house to let him know that he was late for work. So my mom's like, uh-oh. So she felt kind of bad because she didn't know it was daylight savings time, and neither did I. So she unfortunately had to rush my brother to work that day because at the time he didn't drive, so she had to drive him to work. And so she drove him over to work, and I don't know how late I don't think he was super late, but I think he was a couple minutes late just because it was daylight savings time, and we didn't know that it was the daylight savings time that day and the clocks had changed around. So we just didn't know that. And I know nowadays daylight savings time happens automatically on cell phones, but back then we had clocks that we had to change the time on and stuff in the house. So and we just didn't know how daylight savings time worked at the time. So anyway, I felt so bad that my brother was late for work, and my brother also felt bad that he was late for work, and so did my mom, because nobody knew it was daylight savings time until we got that phone call, and it was still pretty weird. But sometimes bosses have to get a hold of people somehow if employees don't answer their phones. So the moral of the story is, if your boss is trying to get a hold of you because you're late for work and trying to call you because you're late for work, it's always good to make sure you answer your cell phone. But if not, they could always get a hold of your house phone if you still have one. And also, it is kind of weird to call them to let them know, but sometimes if they can't get a hold of you, you gotta make sure you pay attention to your phone to let them know that you're late for work or something. So they let you know that you're late for work, or if they're trying to tell you if you're late for work or something. So it's just probably a good idea to make sure you pay attention to your cell phone when your boss calls you, and always good to make sure you pay attention to when daylight savings time happens. I know nowadays we have our times automatically changed on a cell phone, but at that time we had to change our clocks manually by ourselves. So that's kind of how it worked with back then. But nowadays the time changes automatically when it comes to daylight savings time. It happens, but it's always important to make sure you pay attention to when daylight savings time happens, so then you know if you're late for work or not. So that was a very awkward story about how my brother's boss called our house to let us know that he was late for work. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post Tuesday through Sunday, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye! And now a word from Humphrey. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to Mena's YouTube channel. And if you want more story times with me, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed my story time with Mena. Also, if you would like to follow me and Mena on Instagram, you can follow Mena at Mena Homburg, and you can follow me at Humphrey at Humphrey's World 007. Bye!